Hello, everyone. Welcome to CyberSpace Metta Meditation, hosted by BJF. In our last session, I spoke about the types of concentration that you can get into when practicing meditation, especially when you practice meditation in a sustained manner, as in a retreat. In a retreat that you spend the next few days, maybe a week, maybe more than 2 weeks, just being with the meditation object. And when you do that, the meditation could actually deepen very much. During a retreat, what we do is to direct our mind on the meditation object. And if it is a metta retreat, the meditation object is metta. So we spend many hours putting our mind on metta until the mental hindrances subside and the meditation becomes continuous. And over time, the meditation will gather momentum. Now, when we perform meditation, it can pave the way to a high level and a subtle tranquility and happiness. This is when the practice is rightly directed. However, it is also possible that a person can focus his mental energy for the wrong purpose. And when he does this, it can result in unhappiness or misery. The analogy that was given by the Buddha is like catching a water snake at its tail rather than the head. And when you do that, harm will come to you. Of course, when we undertake a meditation, we want to do it with the right purpose. And so the Pali word for this is called Samma Samadhi, the right doing proper meditation, or right meditation. This refers to focusing the mind on a suitable object with the aim of attaining wholesome happiness and peacefulness. And this becomes an effective means of overcoming defilements of the mind, which are the root cause of misery in life. So we practice Samma Samadhi in order to develop the wholesomeness of the mind. And the Samma Samadhi can be classified into 3 categories. First is what we call Khanika Samadhi, and this denotes concentration on the meditation object that is done on a moment-to-moment basis. At the start of the meditation practice, we will not be able to feel either joy, which is called piti. Piti is the Pali word for joy, or happiness, which is sukha. However, if you keep on practicing, we keep on persisting with the practice, the power of Khanika Samadhi will accumulate. And after a while, when the mind is on the meditation object, it becomes actually easier and sometimes even effortless to keep the mind on the meditation object. And when you come to the stage, the tranquility of the mind will follow. And this will bring about feelings of joy and happiness. Now, as you move from Khanika Samadhi, you can actually go into the second stage of concentration, which is a deeper level of concentration. It's called Upachara Samadhi. Sometimes it is translated as assess happiness. Assess concentration, Upachara Samadhi. This refers to a higher level of concentration, which is powerful enough to arrest defilements. So when the concentrated mind becomes increasingly and firmly secured to the object, the mental image of the meditation object will become clear and subtle. So we're moving from something that is external to us, an object that's external to us. This object will become a mental image, will appear in the mind. And eventually this mental image in the mind will become clear and subtle. And when it does this, it gives rise to Ugaha Nimitta. That is what we call a quiet image. So the meditation has moved from an external object to a mental object, in the case of Upachara Samadhi. And as the concentration deepens further, we move on to the stage called Appana Samadhi. And at this stage, the mind remains steadfast to the object, such that a meditator will be able to remain in the object continuously, and sometimes he can do this for the entire day. Now, of course, this is not possible when you're first starting with your meditation retreat. This is after doing this meditation for a while. Then it is possible to come to the stage of Appana Samadhi. When the meditation begins to deepen, there will be 5 mental factors of concentration that the meditator may experience. And in fact, these factors are connected with the experience of jhana or absorption in meditation. Now, what are they? Number 1 is called vitakka or initial application. Number 2 is vichara, sustained application. 3, piti, joy. 4th, sukha, happiness. And 5, ekagata, or one-pointedness or unification of the mind. So these are 5 mental factors of concentration. Now let me go through one by one. What is vitakka, initial application? Our minds are normally wandering. If you're not able to control a wandering mind, we can easily become anxious, depressed, restless, and worried. So for the mind to be concentrated or focused, the meditator will have to keep his mind on the same object for a sustained period. So what he does is that he has to lift his mind from whatever it is doing and direct the mind to the meditation object. The process of directing the mind to the meditation object is called vitakka, or initial application. That's we apply the mind, move the mind from whatever things it is doing in order to direct it towards the object. So this is what we call vitakka. So, in the early stage of meditation, the mind keeps running, or wandering mind, restless mind. So he has to keep on bringing the mind again and again and again to the meditation object. The mind always has a way of slipping away, straying away, playing tricks on a person, So he must keep on doing this again and again. So the moment he realizes that the mind has strayed, he must stop it from straying and bring the mind back to the meditation object. Or sometimes in the process of meditating, the mind could actually become dull, unresponsive, or inactive. Now, when he realizes what is happening, he has to activate the mind from dullness or sleepiness and bring it back to the meditation object. So this is what we call vitakka in action. This is initial application. So he keeps on doing this process again and again. And over time, the mind will become less, will stray much less. And his power of concentration will strengthen. And he will be able to hold on to the meditation object for a longer period of time. And when he does that, he's actually making progress. So the power of vitakka becomes intensified, and the mind will no longer be dull, unresponsive, or inactive to the meditation object. So vitakka is certainly one of the factors of concentration. The second factor that will come into being is what we call vichara. Vichara is sustained application. This is another process which is holding on to the meditation object. Vichara is sustained application. Now, what do we mean by this? In the meditation practice, the mind must focus on a suitable object for some time. So what vichara does is it performs the function of keeping the mind onto the object. So in the case of vitakka, vitakka is bringing the mind to the meditation object. Vichara is keeping the mind on the object, sustaining the attention on the object. So that's how you have vitakka and vichara. Now, without vichara, the mind, you could have vitakka, it brings the mind to the object, but there's no sustaining power, and the mind drifts away to another object. Okay? So vitakka is like beating a drum. So when you beat the drum, there'll be a sound. But vichara is like the reverberation of the drum sound, the sound that goes on. That is vichara. Beating the drum as an initial impact, that's vitakka. Initial application, vichara is sustaining the mind on the object. So the relationship of vitakka and vichara is inseparable. Another analogy that is given is vitakka is like a bird flapping its wings in order to rise into the air. Whereas vichara is like the subsequent flapping of the wings for the bird to be able to continue flying in the air. So that is why we need vitakka and vichara, very important in the practice. So without vitakka and vichara, there's no way that you can make progress in your meditation. So you have to keep on applying the mind back to the meditation object and keep trying to keep the mind sustained on the object, which is vichara. So when your vitakka and vichara starts developing, certain things will happen. One is that you might feel the arising of piti. This is the third factor of concentration. Piti, which is a Pali word for joy, for delight, or for contentment. This is the third factor of concentration. And it signifies the feeling of delight and contentment in varying degrees that gives rise to physical sensation that permeates the body. So piti is something that can arise within the body. It's not just happiness. It's not something emotional. It's something quite physical, actually. It can arise both from a wholesome or an unwholesome mind. So you got to check the mind to make sure that it is not gone to something that is unwholesome. Because when a person's mind is directed towards an unwholesome object, he can also experience some kind of sensually pleasurable object according to his desire, right? And sometimes he becomes excited when looking or thinking about something connected with this desire. And this in turn creates restlessness and mental disturbance. Whereas in meditation, we are trying to bring the mind to a state of peace, which is the opposite. Now, when in meditation, piti arises from a wholesome mind, it actually arises naturally. When our concentration becomes sustained and deepened, piti arises naturally. And when it arises, it becomes easier for the meditator to keep his mind on the meditation object without wandering. So it works both ways. So as the meditation begins to be more deepened, my concentration becomes more sustained, piti arises, and this arising of piti allows the meditator to keep his mind on the meditation object without wandering. In the practice of meditation, apparently piti can take 5 forms, okay? So maybe from your own experience of meditation, you might experience 1, 2, 3, or maybe all 5 of these factors. At the early stage, piti can arise as slight joy. And this slight joy could be like goosebumps appearing on the body or hair standing. But it is connected with the feeling of inspiration or being uplifted, and goosebumps starts appearing on the body. So this is the first level, okay? Sometimes piti can arise like a momentary joy, like a flash of lightning. You experience like some kind of a bolt of lightning, something bright occurring. And it's connected with happiness and joy. And when your concentration deepens and progress, sometimes it could be like a flood of joy that descends on the body and breaks up like waves on the ocean, on the beach, like waves. Or the fourth form that piti can take is like a floating joy, that a person begins to feel that a person is floating. The joy and the happiness feels that the body is lifted from the ground. The fifth form of joy is what we call a suffusing joy that pervades the whole body like a flood. Like a flood, for instance, like water overflowing the tank, you become completely suffused by joy. So these are some 5 forms that piti can take. When the person might experience piti regularly, it becomes easier for him to concentrate on the meditation object, and he can go to the meditation object also quicker. And the arising of piti is linked with the attainment of a deeper level of calmness and tranquility. So the mind becomes calmer, more peaceful, more tranquil, and this provides a condition for piti to arise. So it is wholesome happiness. It will have a favorable effect on meditation. So when you have piti, you find that meditation becomes easy. Keeping your mind on the object is easy. And the development of piti from meditation will effectively eliminate the minds from the feeling of dissatisfaction and anger, which are obstacles to tranquil meditation. So it's very nice to have pity. You will find that inspiration, it becomes like a surge of inspiration. And meditation, keeping to the mental object, is very easy. You became very drawn into the object of meditation. So this is the third factor, a mental factor. The fourth mental factor is what you call sukha or happiness. So when the meditation has deepened, the meditator will not only experience piti, which is delight or joy, but also sukha. It is the happiness that arises from meditation. And piti and sukha are actually two different mental states. They're not the same, you know. As a simile, when a very thirsty traveler in a desert learns that there is an oasis nearby, he will be inspired. He will become so happy and glad. His heart will be uplifted. Oh, there is an oasis nearby. And then he proceed to the oasis and drink the water. And when he drinks the water, the great happiness will arise within him. So piti is like the feeling of gladness when he knows that there is an oasis nearby. Sukha is the great happiness and contentment that he feels after he quenches thirst. Okay, so this is sukha and piti. Now, generally, the arising of sukha is accompanied by piti. You find there are two factors arising at the same time. Sukha plus this inspiration of piti that manifests itself as a kind of a physically on the body. And the two seems to be inseparable, although they are different. But later on, as the person proceeds in this meditation, he might actually begin to feel that this piti, the arising of piti, is rather gross and disturbing. At that time, when he begins to have a feeling, oh, this piti is just rather gross. Oh, it's good, it's nice, but it's rather gross, and he wants to abandon it. He wants to leave piti behind. And when he does that, he will just bask in the peace with sukha. So he drops piti and just remain. First, piti and sukha was there. You have vitaka, vichara, the initial application of the mind, sustained application of the mind. Then piti, which is joy, will arise, coupled with sukha. But later on, he will also want to kind of drop piti because piti is a bit disturbing. It's not peaceful enough, so that he can just be with sukha. And of course, when sukha arises, one's meditation practice is free from mental wanderings or worry. These are what we call the mental obstacles. There's a fifth factor connected with this concentration or meditation. The fifth factor is called ekagata. What is ekagata? Ekagata is the one-pointedness of the mind. So this is the fifth factor connected with samadhi, with meditation, with deep meditation. When there is one-pointedness of the mind becomes concentrated without wandering. All right, ekagata, one-pointedness of the mind. As the ekagata is strengthened, it will gather the mind and other mental factors that arises with it and hold them together in order to prevent them from getting distracted or scattered. I think the analogy that is given is ekagata is like an army general inspecting his troop. And when he's down there, the soldiers will be orderly and they stand at attention, okay? So ekagata is also like a pillar that is firmly fixed on the ground that cannot be shaken by the wind, all right? So ekagata is the one that brings everything together. It's one-pointedness of the mind. Of course, to get ekagata, you need vitaka vichara. Keep on doing vitaka vichara, and eventually the mind becomes composed and becomes one-pointed. And when the mind becomes one-pointed, then it will provides the conditions for piti and sukha to arise. As ekagata becomes intensified, it overcomes the craving for sensually pleasurable objects, which is also a mental hindrance to meditation. So these are the 5 factors in meditation. They arise from deep and sustained meditation. So unlike what we're talking about in our practice on a weekly basis, this is when we go and take up meditation in a rather serious manner, like in a retreat. Then it might be possible when your meditation is strong enough, then you begin to experience all this. But you will actually you need to practice vitaka vichara anyway, in order to bring about ekagata. And if the concentration is not strong enough, where the mind is still running here and there, piti and sukha will not arise yet. but don't be discouraged at the initial part of your meditation. At least you have vitaka, vichara, and ekagata. So 3 of the factors are there. Now, if you keep on persisting with your practice and you make progress, when you come to a certain level of tranquility, piti and sukha will just arise. It follows naturally. The mental factors of joy and happiness will arise naturally when the mind becomes relaxed and peaceful, and when the attention is on the meditation object without wandering. That is when ekagata becomes stronger, and vitaka vichara goes together with ekagata. So you have the arising of piti and sukha. And so these are the factors that also link up to jhana, the absorption in meditation. Okay, so this is just in order for you to understand what goes into meditation. So now let us proceed on to our practice of metta. We start off with a gradual practice, first sending metta to ourselves, and then we extend the practice of metta. We'll extend metta, the wishes of metta to our loved ones, and then sending metta in different directions to all beings. Over time, when this practice grows, then it is possible for you to send metta with sincerity, including those not friendly to you. And when you practice metta, you begin to build a strong aura of compassionate love. And you might also begin to experience that the conditions around you can actually change. So tonight in our practice, we make use of 4 wishes. That is, those of you who have been following metta, have been practicing sometimes for years. You have been practicing together with every Wednesday night. Using the 4 wishes, not much of an issue. But if you're new to the practice of metta meditation, maybe you don't even need to make the 4 wishes. 1 of the wish or 2 of the wishes will be good enough, because you do not want to be thinking, oh, what is the next wish? I cannot remember the next wish. 1 wish or 2 wishes, you can say, our first wish is, may my heart be peaceful and free. You can just make use of this, may my heart be peaceful and free. And that is having a feeling of peace, freedom, freedom from hostility, freedom from anger, from aversion, from hatred, from grudges, freedom from negative mental states. All right. So may my heart be peaceful and free. Second wish is, may my mind be happy. That is having a contented and relaxed mind. Third is a wish for the body. May my body be healthy and to enjoy good health, to be free from physical pain. Isn't that wonderful? And the last wish is, may I be well and happy. So this is almost a summary wish. To be well in the body, happy in the mind, happy in the heart. To be able to live your life with ease and happiness. So these are the 4 wishes we make use of. And it is good to have this kind of formula, because in our meditation, we should not be thinking, oh, what should I wish now? What's the next wish? So the mind is thinking. And when you're beginning to think, it is hard for you to actually sink into meditation. So as you become more familiar with these wishes, they become almost like automatic wishes. So then you can turn your mind to the radiation of metta, of love and kindness from your heart. Otherwise, it just becomes a mental activity. Oh, what's the next line? What should I say next? So that is why we standardize it into 4 wishes. But if 4 wishes becomes too many, then just use 1 or 2 of the wish. Okay? So if you're ready, I'll ring the bell and we'll watch the breath for a short while. We'll practice the inner smile, that descending smiles to different parts of our body, before moving on to the practice of making wishes. Okay? So I'll just ring the bell right now. So you can slowly close your eyes and take a few deep breaths in a relaxed manner. Bring your heart to a state of contentment. There's really nothing else that you require right now, except to dedicate yourself to the practice of love and kindness. Before proceeding with our metta meditation, let us begin with the practice of the inner smile, which has traditionally been used to enhance health and well-being. Bring up your inner smile, because a smile radiates peace, happiness, friendliness, relaxation, and we bring the inner smile to different parts of our body, different parts of the organ. Just smile and bless the organ with love and kindness. Now just become aware of the crown of your head. Maybe you can feel some sensations in your scalp area at your crown. Can you feel your top of your head, your crown? Let the smiling energy accumulate there. Put a smile on your crown. And now just be aware of your forehead. Can you feel your forehead? Can you put a smile on your forehead? Now just be aware of the spot between your eyebrows. Can you feel the spot right now? Now let's put a smile at this spot. And bring the smile inside the head. Bringing your smile like smiling energy that touches every cell of your brains. Bringing peace and happiness and love and kindness, touching every cell of your brain, so that the brain remains active, fresh, always young, alert, and happy. Now be aware of your eyes. Can you feel your eyes? Bring a smile to your eyes. Now be aware of your cheeks. Putting a smile on your cheeks. And be aware of your neck. At the base of your neck is your thyroid gland. Bring a smile to the thyroid gland. Let's move inside the body to your heart. Be aware of your heart. And bring a smile to your heart. And when your heart relax and open up, let go of all the tension. Let love and kindness permeate your heart. And next to your heart will be your lungs. Love and kindness and a smile for your lungs. Thanking your heart and lungs for keeping you alive from day to day, hour to hour, moment to moment. And lower down will be your solar plexus. It's a nerve center, your solar plexus. And this is where, when you experience negative emotions, this is the part that gets really tightened up. Sometimes it get tied up like a knot. So just relax your solar plexus. Put a smile on your solar plexus. And a relaxed solar plexus, a happy solar plexus, brings good energy to the organs close to the solar plexus, like your liver, which is on the right side of the body. Bring a smile to your liver, and may the liver be healthy. On the left side will be your spleen. Put a smile on your spleen and your pancreas. Your pancreas also rests against your stomach. Your pancreas will secrete enzymes to help you transform the food that you eat into energy. May the pancreas be healthy and strong as well. And now at the back, at your back, around the waistline will be your 2 kidneys. Putting a smile to each of your kidneys. And above the kidneys are the adrenal glands. Also a smile to your adrenal glands. And now to your stomach. Very important digestive system. Helps to break down food and helps for your body to absorb the nutrients. Your small intestines and also the large intestines, through which waste is being expelled from the body. You smile to your digestive system and your intestines. And now to your bladder and your urinary system. And also send your smiling energy to the prostate glands for the males and the ovaries and uterus for the females. So that is the practice of sending the inner smile. And if you like, this itself could be a basis of your meditation. You could keep sending it in a circuit a couple of times, staying a little bit longer on each of the organs. It becomes a valid way of meditating. And as long as you can feel the organs and send your smile, you're actually training your mind to be in the current present moment. You're training your mind in Vitakka Vichara. Now let us move on by being aware of our breath. And here, the breath itself is an object of meditation. So we're just trying to refine our mindfulness, trying to make it go over to the breath, which is Vitakka, and then keep our mind, keep our attention on the breath, which is Vichara. All right, so it's Vitakka Vichara, just watching the breath that comes in and out from your nostril. No need to follow the breath that goes inside the body and out, no need. Then the mind gets distracted with this movement. Just keep your mind still, just observing the breath that it comes in and out of your nostril. And watch the breath with a relaxation that you would, like when you sit at the beach watching the waves come and go. So just watch the breath, and sometimes it might be useful just to do some counting, because at the initial stage of our meditation, if you do not count, the mind could wander very quickly, wander off. So the counting at least It helps us to keep track on our breath. And when we straight, then we know, oh, okay, what was the last number I was on? Then you know your mind is straight. When you know your mind is straight, that is mindfulness, that's good. And then when the act of bringing your mind back to your breath, that's called vitaka. And then as you continue with watching your breath, that's called vichara. So that's vitaka vichara. So now let's just watch our breath. As you breathe in and out, just counting from 1 to 10. And upon reaching number 10, you come back to number 1 again. Let us now watch the breath in another way. As you breathe in, you calm yourself, and as you breathe out, you smile in your heart and relax. So now we shall proceed on our metta, making the 4 wishes. First, we send loving kindness, loving wishes to ourselves first. And we do that because we like to transform ourselves into a vessel of loving kindness. We need to be relaxed and really happy inside before we could sincerely send loving thoughts to others. That's the reason. So let us now putting our attention around the heart region, making the wish. May my heart be peaceful and free. What a wonderful thing to be peaceful and free. May my heart be peaceful and free. May my mind be happy. May my body be healthy. May I be well and happy. May my heart be peaceful and free. May my mind be happy. May my body be healthy. May I be well and happy. Now let us send loving wishes to the first group of people. These are the people from whom we have benefited a lot. They include our parents, our grandparents, our teachers. We've gained so much from them, from their kindness, from their compassion, from their sacrifice. So you can send loving kindness to them as a group or one by one. And if you're sending loving kindness to your mother, you just imagine that your mother is seated in front of you and she's in a good mood, a good frame of mind. So you can send your loving wishes to your mother. You say, Mother, may your heart be peaceful and free. May your mind be happy. May your body be healthy. May you be well and happy. And you send the same wishes to your father, to your grandparents, to your guardians, and to your teachers. Now let us send thoughts of loving kindness to our immediate family members, sending your thoughts to your spouse, to your children, to your grandchildren. And if you don't have an immediate family of your own, then to your siblings, brothers and sisters, and nephews and nieces. So you can send your loving kindness to them as a group or one by one. Speak to them from your heart in bringing them these wishes of love and kindness. Now let us imagine that all beings are gathered around us and they have assumed a human form, sending a loving kindness to all beings in the forward direction. All beings in the forward direction, may your heart be peaceful and free. May your mind be happy. May your body be healthy. May you be well and happy. Your kindly wishes of metta to all the beings in the rightward direction, to the backward direction, to the leftward direction, to the downward direction, and the upward direction. Sending our loving kindness to all beings around the world in every direction. Let us make some aspirations. By the grace of the merits that we have accumulated, may we not follow the way of the foolish. May we be blessed with wise friends and skillful teachers. May we always remain on the path of Dhamma wherever we are. And may we one day achieve the highest bliss on Nibbana. Himena punya kamena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patiya. Let us make a closing invocation for all the blessings, guidance and protection received. O Buddha, my spiritual master and refuge, thank you for the blessings, guidance and protection. The Dhamma, holy saints and spiritual teachers, bodhisattvas, Dhamma protectors and devas, thank you for the blessings, guidance and protection. May the Buddha be at my head, Dhamma in my heart, Sangha by my side, to guide and protect me always. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share in these merits that we have generated. May these merits help to bring them good health, happiness, and peace. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, to share in these merits of ours, and may they long protect the Buddha Sasana. Let us say sadhu. 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 萨